interception. Incomplete pass at the New York Giants 30.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you could maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below or maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, the New York Giants, obviously in the first round, you got pretty much as close to two plug-and-play players as you can ask for, right? Evan Neal, boom. Pencil him in at right tackle for a long time. Kayvon Thibodeau, boom. Put him in there, whichever side he's going to be on, just put him in there. Wan'Dale Robinson, okay, he just, second round pick, all right, he might wind up being a starter, maybe by default, maybe not the beginning of the season. If somehow, by some miracle, we can actually get Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard, and Kenny Golladay somehow to all be healthy opening day, quite possibly they'll be the three on the field, maybe for the first snap, right, with Sterling, with Saquon as well, right, in the backfield. But Wan'Dale might, by default, somewhere along the line, just become a starter if he can stay healthy. Okay, the Giants, sometimes we don't have the most luck, as far, especially with our wide receivers, especially the wide receivers staying healthy, right? But, there's a good chance that between Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney, one of them is going to get hurt, if not both of them. So our second rounder, by default, he might wind up becoming a starter. But, however, according to the article here, there's quite possibly two other guys, all right, that we drafted in the fourth round that might be day one starters as well, too.
All right, the New York Giants. I got this article here from NJ.com. Obviously, yeah, we got a couple of Giants, other than Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal, have already emerged as possible day one starters. That's really, really good. Now, the thing I was a little bummed out about in the draft is we had so many picks. We wanted, a boatload of them, that we didn't jump up and maybe snatch another solid starter. Like in the second round, we moved back 2 times, got some extra picks, and then we took Wan'Dale Robinson, who's like a slot receiver, and we have Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney. It's like, we had so many other, like I said, we needed a safety. We could have used a tight end, but apparently, according to this article, even though we moved back in the second round and we got a couple extra picks, quite possibly, we picked up our starting safety and our starting tight end, okay, in the fourth round. So if that's the case, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And then, said with maybe a Zudu, somewhere along the line, he might be bidding for the starting guard position. McFadden might be, the inside linebacker position, somewhere. So, things might be looking pretty doggone good there, All right, so Joe Schoen knew going into the NFL draft that he needed to find some players that could start as rookies because we had some holes. Oh, yeah. Especially after quiet free agency limited the Giants to, by cap constraints. Yeah, we can only we brought in Glowinski. That was our one little, kind of like our little treat out, Tyrod Taylor. Okay, but it's Glowinski is a starter. Tyrod Taylor may not be. He might be just on it. He may not have a snap all year, right? But other than that, there was only so much we could do. We were just pretty much happy that we had enough money we could sign our draft class. Coming out of the draft, it wouldn't have been controversial to declare that the Giants general manager found 2 day one starters in his first 2 round picks. Well, honestly, unless you're drafting a quarterback, if Aaron Rodgers is your starting quarterback and you drafted somebody, Aaron Rodgers is going to retire after this year and you drafted a quarterback, pick number 7 overall, to replace or something. And so if he winds up spending some time on the bench, yeah. But for the most part, if you're not drafting a quarterback and you take two guys in the top 7 and one of them's going to want to be in a backup, yeah, you got yourself a problem there. So, I mean, you got 2 top 7 picks. Those guys better be day 1 starters. I mean, unless they're injured or something like that. But, you know. As first, obviously, Kayvon Thibodeau and offensive tackle Evan Neal. Both were running with the starters on their first day of OTAs. Cole. Got to love that. But then we got, you know, a couple little treats here. But a couple other rookies have emerged, right, during OTAs as potential starters, even as early as week 1. I'm fine with that. You know, I don't think we're going to be shooting for a Super Bowl this year. So, I mean, if you got to put some of these guys in there, I hate, you know, saying, you know, take their lumps or whatever, you know, but you're only going to learn so much sitting on the sideline sipping Kool-Aid, right? You know, the more you're in there, the better you're going to get. And the quicker you're going to get, better, all right? So I'm fine with that. All right, so we got, you know, even at early as week 1, and they were both drafted in the 4th round. Gotta love that, baby. So we got tight end Daniel Bellinger and safety Dane Belton. All right. Of the 2, Bellinger is more likely to open up the season as a starter. Yeah, I could see that. And if the season started this week, he might already be taking the field with Daniel Jones and company, too. I mean, that's not saying a whole well of a lot for Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, you know. Cornerback Cordell Flott, all right, let's not forget about him as well, okay, was also running with the first-team defense at nickel, although he's expected to compete with Darnay Holmes for that job. And Holmes wasn't at Thursday's practice, all right? So now, I mean, this is one of the reasons why right here. I mean, we're talking about Bellinger quite possibly just being the starter. Thursday, Bellinger got the majority of the reps with the first-team offensive head of veterans, Ricky Seals-Jones and Jordan Akins. And he's been a favorite target of Jones throughout OTAs, where some rookies have been getting first-team reps in part because of injuries to others, including Belton. Both Seals-Jones and Akins are healthy and practicing, okay? Bellinger caught a touchdown pass from Jones during 11-on-11 drills on Thursday, while Akins dropped a catchable pass down the field from backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor. I mean, just one of the reasons why he's been on multiple teams, you know, just, you know, kind of, this might be his only year with the Giants. It remains unclear how much head coach Brian Dable and offensive quarterback Mike Kafka plan to feature the tight end in this offense. But Bellinger has an opportunity to step in as a starter as soon as week 1. At San Diego State, Bellinger wasn't much of a down-the-field threat. Only 4 of his 31 receptions in 2021 came 10-plus yards down the field. So, I mean, that's not a lot, right? It's not a lot at all, per PFF, Pro Football Focus. But he's a more well-rounded tight end than Evan Ingram was before him. Yes, he is, okay? Especially since Bellinger is considered a solid blocker already. He's nice, solid. And we'll wrap this up here with Bellinger. He's also more sure-handed. Yes, he is. I'm going to go over that in a second here. Bellinger didn't drop a ball in 2021 and had a 4.2% drop rate for his career. Very good. I think he has good size. He has good speed. He had good hands, Dable said in May. Did some good things at the line of scrimmage. Thought he had some tools to work with. Obviously, you know, they liked him when they selected him there. Done a good job here for a short time I've been around him. Good young man. Okay. So we got, you know, now this is what he did in 2021, Bellinger, right, at San Diego State. 2021, right? Yeah. His receiving, okay. Now, if you look here, okay, drops 0. Obviously, drop percentage 0. Now, what the heck was it? I think in 2020 he had 2 drops. If I'm not mistaken, drops 2. Okay. So his drop percentage was 8.7. So, you know, you're starting to get up to Evan Ingram territory there. Okay. But, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, I'll show you in a second. You'll notice each year he got better. Okay. And you can certainly get better as far as not dropping passes. I mean, it's not something that you can do overnight. I get it. That's something you could struggle with your whole career or whatever. But for the most part, if you work at it, you can get better at, catching the ball. I mean, a lot of it's also focus. Oh, here comes the ball. Let me see. Is somebody going to come and hit me? Or here comes the ball. The ball's going to be right about here. So when it hits my hands, I'll catch it. But let me start turning, look, and see where I can run up. Concentration. A lot of it's concentration. All right, so we got 2019. I think he dropped one pass. I think it was. One pass. All right, 6.3. Okay, 2018. Did I look? I don't even think I looked 2018. Okay, you didn't have any. Okay. All right, but I mean, his past season, all right, 2021, he didn't drop a pass. There we go. All right. So, very, very good. Now, but you'll notice here, okay, each year he got a little bit better. His first year, he only had 2 targets, 1 catch, right? But his grade was over a 56. Then San Diego State, they run the ball. All right, so it's not, they don't do the run and shoot and all, so he's not going to get a lot of targets, period. So, he's more, valuable to them kind of like for his blocking ability. But his second season, right, he had 25 targets. He had caught 15 balls, 60%. But you see, each year he got better. Third year, they threw it 33 times, scored 21 for 63.6. This past season, they threw him the ball 43 times. He caught it 31, right, for 72%. Very, very good. But his overall offensive grade was a 56. Then his second year was a 62. And he was like about a 61, right? But this past year went up to a 64. We're not talking Travis Kelce here or anything like that. Nothing superhuman, right? But just solid grades, okay? We got his pass blocking is a 62, right? His 89. That's very good there, right? Let's see here. Now, these are his receiving. Let's also here. Let's go to his offense here. This will show his blocking grade here too. All right. All right. His run blocking, 63.6, 62.1 pass blocking. His passing grade is 62.5 pass receiving. I guess his offensive grade is a 64.1. So nothing super spectacular, right? But I mean, he's a better blocker, okay, than Evan Ingram. And something like as far as blocking, can you get better at that? Yes, you can. You can get a little stronger. And there's drills and things you can do to get better. A lot of it's also inside. Do you take pride in it? That's a prideful thing. And not everybody wants to partake in that because it could be, you're gonna get embarrassed. It could be rather painful. Somebody, runs you over or throws you to the ground or whatever. But I mean, a lot of that's a prideful kind of thing. So I mean, if you really take a lot of pride in it and work at the craft, can you get better? Absolutely. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. But I mean, I think all in all, I'm anxious to see what he can do, especially if he's got like that Kyle Rudolph kind of thing going, where they throw him the ball, boom, he catches it. That would be huge. So I'm pulling for Daniel Bellinger. All right. Then we got Mr. Belton. All right. Belton's first team reps on Thursday were a bit more of a surprise, though understandable considering his versatility and the absence of some defensive backs. Cornerbacks Aaron Robinson, Holmes, plus safety Jaron Williams didn't participate. But projected safety starter Xavier McKinney and Julian Love did. Right? And Belton was out there anyway. Line up as a third safety. How cool is that? We got 3 safeties out there. He lined up as a third safety for much of the afternoon, and even was out there when Love or McKinney would sub out too. McKinney is locked in as a starter. Yes, he is. But Love has mostly been a backup in his career anyway, and this coaching staff didn't draft him. They picked Belton. So, I mean, will Julian Love be around after this next season? I said, I mean, he's not a Dable guy. Wink Martindale ain't there. Shane didn't drink. You know what I mean? So I said they're going to want to pay him, especially if he might wind up being a backup. I mean, versatility and all is huge, but they're going to want to pay a backup. I'm just throwing numbers out there. $5, $6, $7 million a year or something like that when they have other pressing needs. Probably not. So unfortunately, this might be Julian's last season here with us. Just like so many other Giant draft picks, they draft a decent player and they just let him go. 4 years. Yep, see you later. Unbelievable. At Iowa, Belton played the cash position on defense, lining up at a hybrid strong safety and outside linebacker. So versatility, huge. Okay. Giants defensive coordinator Wink Martindale values versatility, so expect him to find creative ways to use Belton, even not as a start right away. In rookie minicamp, Belton was primarily playing a traditional safety role. But on Thursday, he was being moved around the formation a bit more. Outstanding. I'm just working on learning both safeties and being able to be versatile. That's the biggest thing for me, Belton said at rookie minicamp in May. Being able to play multiple positions in college. Well, yes, he did. Translate the blitzing off the edge, covering deep, and match routes underneath. Just shows the versatile aspect to myself. So, it's. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that in a second, too. Right. Right. Often teams won't throw rookies right into the fire, even first-round picks. Sometimes. Because if you're like the last line of defense, and you make a mistake, 7 points for the other team. So, as starters during practice at this time of the year, but clearly Dable, Kafka, and Martindale aren't operating that way. The more you can do, the better off it is, Dable said on Thursday, because you're out there actually doing it, and that's true. All right, so now we got Mr. Belton here. Okay, so this is last, at Iowa. 2021 right here. Okay. Overall, very solid. What I like, okay. Look at this coverage grade. 82.3. All right. That wasn't an 80, the whole all way, but overall, I gave an 82.3. Very, very, right. Defensive grade 77.1. Very solid. Okay. It was a little good and bad. All right. He gave up 5 touchdowns. Okay. Receiving. So, right. But he did have 5 interceptions, and he also had 8 pass breakups too. All right. So, and the NFL, the quarterback rating against would have been a 72.8, which is pretty damn good. And then also he had no penalties last year too. Right. No penalties. Now, when they sent him on pressure, okay, he wound up with 5 pressures. He had 4 hurries and 1 hit, no sacks. All right. So he's very, very versatile. All right. But if you also look at it here too, okay, down here, each year he got better. 2019, he graded out at 58.8. Then he went up to a 67. Then he went up to so each year, basically. And you'll notice, his first year he played 430 snaps. That's a nice amount. That's not the full season, but that's a nice amount of snaps, right? So he went from like a 58 to a 67 to a 77. Each year he kept getting a little bit better, quite a bit better, shall I say, all right? So, that's very, very impressive. Then also, if we look here, we go snaps by position. Okay. So, we'll look here. He was in the D-line 50. This last season, 2021. He was on the D-line 51 snaps. In the box, 290. Slot corner. Safety in the slot corner. Check that out. 536. He was the wide cornerback 9 times. He was the free safety 57 times. Okay, then he played a bunch of special teams. But so you can see he was used all over the place. All right. Apparently everything but a strong safety. All right. He was on the D-line. He was played in the box. He played slot corner. He played free safety, and then he played wide corner. So you can put him out anywhere. So versatility, that's huge with him. Now, as I said, you got to, like with Julian Love here. Okay, now, right, so his past season, he played a lot of snaps last season. A lot of snaps, right? 612. right? Which is a decent amount. Okay. But I mean, his grades are just, his first season, he graded out a 70.5. He played in 408 snaps. Run defense is good. Tackling's is good, especially his past couple seasons, 77 and 76. Pass rush is decent. His coverage grades, tailed off a little bit. I mean, but he's got the experience. He knows what to do and all. It's just that, I mean, if you're looking at his overall defensive grade as a 55, I mean, when his contract's up, I mean, how much and we have pressing needs, other needs that we, right, that we're going to have to address. So you're going to want to pay him, as I said, I'm just throwing numbers at $4, $5, $6 million a year to be maybe possibly a backup. I don't know. Right. So unfortunately for him, this might quite possibly be his last year with the New York Giants. But I mean, as I said, we can see here. There's a defense, and we go snaps by position here. Said as we go back to 2021. I mean, he was all over the place. He was on a defensive line 43 snaps. He was in the box 140. Slot corner 211 times. Wide corner 35. Free safety. All right, he basically the same thing, 182 snaps. So it's kind of like everything that he did, Julian Love did last year with the Giants. That's the same thing that Dane Belton did with Iowa. So I don't know if the writing is on the wall for Julian Love, because basically all the positions that he plays, Dane Belton can play too. And I said, if the writing's on the wall, this just might be the last season for Julian Love being a New York Giant.
So you see, with Bellinger, the only thing pretty much, because the guys that we brought in, I mean, they're on, they got experience, okay? So that's where they got over Bellinger, all right? But I mean, Ricky Seals-Jones, I mean, they're like, they've been on multiple teams, right? Haven't. I mean, if you're a good, solid tight end, right? You're not going to be on 5 different teams in 6 years. It's just not happening. I mean, they're like, this guy's. I mean, it's not Travis Kelce, but guy's not bad. Why don't we sign him for a couple of years? I mean, so if you got guys, and it is what it is. We had no money. You can only bring in what you can bring in with no money, right? So that's what we brought in, right? Guys that don't cost a lot of money, but you got guys, tight ends that don't cost a lot of money. There's a reason why, okay? So as far as with Bellinger, what like maybe a Ricky Seals-Jones would have over him would certainly be some experience. Now, if that's going to hinder Bellinger at all in the beginning, who knows? But I mean, if he's doing a well enough job, if he's catching on to the concepts and the play calling and everything, and if he's holding on to the ball when it's thrown to him, that's huge, as you saw in this article here, right? He didn't have any drops senior season. Huge, right? Unlike Evan Ingram. And then with Belton, right? The thing is, like with him, as far as with Julian Love, this is his last season, okay? Now, Julian Love's played multiple positions, and he's had hundreds of snaps every year he's been in the league, okay? And it's probably going to be the same thing this year, too. He's going to, as long as he doesn't get injured, he's going to have a lot of snaps. But this is his last season, okay? Are the Giants going to want to try to maybe hold on to him? That wouldn't be bad. The only thing is, are you going to want to, if Belton overtakes him, are you going to want to spend, just throwing a number out there, $5 million a year? Just throwing a number out there, that's all. $5-6 million a year, right? Or 4 to 6, 4 to 7, to keep Julian Love when you have so many other pressing needs? Quite possibly not. So, I mean, this might be Julian Love. And, as I said, Julian Love is not a Shane guy. He's not a Dable guy, right? He's not a Wink Martindale guy. I mean, they brought Belton in, they drafted him, okay? And they drafted him for a reason. So this might be Julian Love's, unfortunately. We get decent guys in here, and the Giants draft them, the decent guys, and they never re-sign them. Same old. But if Belton doesn't overtake maybe Love, maybe this year, quite possibly next year, he might be the safety. Then that would give us, we have Belton, right? We have Xavier McKinney, so we'd have our two safeties. We got Azeez Ojulari. We got Kayvon Thibodeau. We got our two edge rushers. We got Andrew Thomas. We got Evan Neal. We got our two tackles. All right, we're not done by any means, okay? But with those three pairs that I just listed off right there, we're off to a pretty good start. We still got a lot of ways to go. But I mean, if we can have our starting tight end as well too, we're getting there. The biggest question is, do we have our quarterback on our roster? That remains to be seen. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!